Hello again. Today we've got some more 3.75 inch content for you. Yesterday I posted about the playset city that I am building, and before I try and clean the bench off so I can continue work, I figured I'd show you some of the construction vehicles I've accumulated over the years. So if you folks are familiar, I have a Facebook page called 3.75 Deep Dive, and I cover my action figure collection on that page a lot. And I occasionally post a series of kind of like a series of photo comics of two construction workers who are in charge of building the city. In fact, this is their truck right here, and there's the two Chapmay construction workers. So actually, they're like Chapmay soldiers, but I have them as construction workers. So I have a strong fondness for work trucks and construction vehicles. I myself am a truck driver. I maintain my commercial driver's license, and I've always been around trucks ever since I've been able to work. So one of my favorite trucks is the Mercedes-Benz Unimog. Unfortunately, I've never actually been exposed to a real one, other than people, friends who have them. But I've never driven one, but I'm obsessed with them. So I have quite a collection of 1/18 scale Unimogs, which I'm going to do a deep dive video on later. But in the meantime, I just wanted to show you some of these unique construction vehicles that sort of fit my aesthetic for this sci-fi city. My plan is the city won't be so advanced. It'll be more like a diesel punk sort of petroleum driven city still. So I let's start with Playmobil. So we all know that Playmobil scales reasonably well with 3.75 action figures, but it often needs work in the floorboards. You usually have to Dremel out the floorboards to get characters to fit into their vehicles. This is Playmobil's predecessor. This is called Play Big, and I'm not quite sure of the backstory behind Playmobil and how it started, but just on an observer's level, you can tell that Play Big has the same aesthetics both in their logo and in their toy design as Playmobil. In fact, the Play Big figures look exactly like Playmobil figures on steroids. But their vehicles, particularly this Unimog, are, in my opinion, pretty exceptional and pretty faithful to the real truck. Now, Play Big vehicles you could probably find easier in Europe. They're hard to find here in the U.S. and they're vintage. They're probably early 1980s. I happened to find this. I think I got this one on Europe. I got a whole lot of them here in the U.S. by some miracle, but this one was my first, and it was missing all sorts of pieces. In fact, it still kind of looks like it's missing stuff. So, in fact, this bed comes off of a radio-controlled army truck, and I made the bed and spray painted it as best as I could to match. The wheels, these are Lego Technic wheels that I modified to go on there, and I think these rails are actually a Play Big thing. And then I'll make some sort of rack to put this Brooder amber construction light on. I'll probably put it back here. I think it looks better. Anyway, my collection has expanded since then, so I actually have all sorts of spare parts and parts that I've pulled silicone molds from, so I can cast new roofs. And so this is a vehicle in progress. But I like the stance of it. I think it looks like it can fit in it's certainly going to fit in my sci-fi world. But so that's that. Now, going backwards in time, there was another company called MS Toy, and it stands for Michael Seidel. Once again, I think Michael Seidel is probably the guy who ultimately designed things for Playmobil, because this has a lot a lot of similarities. For one, this obsession with the Unimog in general. These are obviously two different models of Unimog, but the obsession with Unimog, the logos bear similarities, and they're all West German. I mean, how many West German toy companies are there? So it seems to work, but the difference being Playmobil and Play Big are plastic toys. MS Toy is metal. So I found these, and yes, it looks a little bit like a kid's sandbox toy, but it's once again, it's a Unimog. It's pretty faithful to the model Unimog, and you know, I'll probably keep this one, this color, because it, to me, you know, as a toy collector, this has a certain value. But I have one or two of these that I can paint up and make them more fitting in the world, in the aesthetics of my world here. So once again, like these Joy Toy figures here, they personify the aesthetics of the world that I'm going to be building here. So, okay, we'll pull this toy out of the way, and we'll move these guys off to the side, and girls off to the side, and of course I got to knock everything over. So there's another MS Toy Unimog, and this is an example of how you usually find them. So missing whatever accessory. They made all sorts of accessories on the backs of these things. So I think there's a crane and there's a couple other things. So this one's ripe for customization. You know, we can do anything. We can make it a robot hauler. I can make it a delivery truck or anything like a mining truck. So I'll put that off to the side. So this construction vehicle, this was just something, you know, I bought at Walmart. So this is, oh geez, Peppa Pig or something like that. It's one of these kids shows that my kids are too old. We don't get exposed to the television that much. But so I think it has 4 wheels. I made this frame and these axles for it. So the axles are Lego Technic, and the frame pieces are plastic I-beams. And so I made this, you know, it needs to be painted up, and but what fits nicely in there is a droid, so like an R2 unit or something like that. So this is going to be like just a droid operated sort of mining vehicle. And I happen to have from one of my old projects this dump bed, so it fits like nearly perfect on there. So that may see service as a dumper, or it may see service as a delivery vehicle. Who knows? But eventually it will get finished. So let's see. Let's go to this guy next. So this is also an MS toy. Okay, well, there you go. I was a little bit wrong. So it's Action Play, but there's the MS Toy logo. So you see the logo is a ram, and then by the time you get to Play Big, the logo, very, very aesthetically similar in its graphics, is an ox with giant antlers. And then ultimately you get to Playmobil. So I kind of think the same DNA is in all of these toy lines. This one is not a Unimog, but however, it is a construction vehicle, and I liked the scale. It was kind of cool. It's like a compact dump truck, perfect for off-world use. And you know, the fact that like there's no room for an engine anywhere. Maybe it's an electric dump truck for this kind of environment. So granted, this guy will never fit in there, but there are other ways to make it appear as if an action figure driver is in there. One way is to use Glyos figures and pop off the legs and place the Glyos figure in there. Once again, I don't know if I'm gonna repaint this because it has value as what it is, but definitely has that boys sandbox look to it, and I like it a lot. So now the most interesting one in this posting is this thing. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think this is Bulgarian. So every once in a while on eBay, I discover something, and this was one of those things. And you always run a risk of ordering from overseas. I don't know why, but sometimes sellers just don't deliver, and I don't know why. You can get your money back through eBay as long as you're keeping on top of things. But so I ran the risk. This one was up for auction for a long time, and it was pricey, and it was pricey to get it here to the U.S. But where the hell are you ever going to find something like this as a toy collector? So scale wise, it's great. It's really cool. I don't know if it'll actually fit in here or not. I haven't really tried. I just basically received the thing and then promptly put it on my shelf until I can get to it at a later day. But it definitely has that that sort of like behind the Iron Curtain Eastern Bloc look, simplified look. I don't know what this translates to. Maybe it's rocket fuel, maybe it's gasoline, maybe it's oil or water, or who knows. But it's a cool truck, and once again, this is one that I will not do any paint work to. It will just make appearances in my city from time to time. It just has too much value as a foreign toy, and it's in pretty good shape considering. It's probably more dirty from sitting in my garage than it was when I received it. But that's that. So there's the vehicles. There's more in the collection. I just grabbed the ones that are on the shelf right now to show you. But we'll do a deeper dive on Unimogs later. Thanks for putting up with me in my long-winded discussion, and I hope you're having a great day.